Hello everyone, welcome to the Kemet Masai Academy. Today we're going to share with you a story of one of my students, Dreshaun Napier. He is 11 years old and he just received his results, the City and Guilds Mathematics Stage 2 3850 paper. He got a distinction. Now this is a paper that is normally done by 10th graders, by students going into vocational studies. And Dreshaun, actually when he did the exam, he was 10 years old. As far as we know, he is the youngest to have received a distinction in the City and Guilds Math Stage 2. So we are going to share his story with you. We're going to be speaking with Dreshaun himself, the man of the moment, and we're going to be speaking with his mom, Rashana Reed, also his uncle, Omar Wyndham. So you're going to want to stay tuned to the end to hear the experience as well as recommendations and tips, for those who want their child, or if you are a child watching, if you want to achieve what Dreshaun has achieved, keep listening to find out what you need to do. Alright, so today is March 14, 2021, and stay tuned for all of that information. Now, remember, before we go any further, if you have not yet subscribed to the Kemet Masai Academy, now would be an excellent time for you to do so. Also, click like and share this video with as many persons as you can. Remember, we need to stay motivated and we need to motivate others. Click like, click share. We also want to reach out to our supporters on Patreon. Those who have contributed to the school, keep doing so. And for those who would want to support us, the link is below. Our Patreon link is below. So just check that out and become a supporter of the Kemet Masai Academy. I want to show you as proof. So here, this is Dreshaun's certificate showing his distinction, right? So he's very proud and we are very proud of him. So let's get into it and find out from the man himself what this was all about. So Dreshaun, I know, because I'm his teacher, right? So I know that he readily accepted the challenge when I put forward to him that I wanted him to go for the City and Guilds. He is in grade 6, and so at our institution, our grade 6 students, as a normal part of our curriculum, they prepare for the PEP exams as well as 3 CXC subjects. So that's mathematics, human and social biology, and English language. So he was well on the way in preparing for those subjects. So when I said to him, I gave the entire class a test paper of the City and Guilds level 2, and this was the beginning of September, and so I had not even taught some of the topics. And Dreshaun, at the time, he got 78%, and I was impressed, and so I expressed to his mom, let's try him with it. So I know that he readily embraced it. So Dreshaun, I want you to tell us, how did you prepare for the City and Guilds Maths exam?
When I was preparing for the City and Guilds exam, from Monday to Friday, I do online class from 7:30 in the morning to 3 o'clock. And I come to face-to-face class from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the night, and that's Monday to Thursday. And on Friday, I'd also still do the online class in the morning, 7:30 to 3, and go class 3:30 and finish at 6. And on Saturdays, I'd come class in the morning at 8 o'clock and finish at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I know for some that would sound like a very grueling, very tedious task. Did you find it that way? Were you worn out by it, or was it something that you fell into it?
Yes, I fell into it.
Alright, so our students at the Kemet Masai Academy, they are very used to this kind of routine, right? So you see Dreshaun, it's just something that he took on, right? And we were actually, in our preparation, he was working with the stage 2 as well as the stage 3 papers, and he was getting 90s and 100s. So I'm almost positive that if we had signed him up for the stage 3, he would have gotten a distinction. Dreshaun, when we went on the day of the exam, when he was sitting the exam, Mom was there, I was there, Uncle was there, and because of the preparation that we had, I could tell his mom, 45 minutes, this is a 2-hour exam, and I could tell her 45 minutes into the exam, I knew he was finished, because in our preparation, he would normally do 2 papers within the 2 hours, and usually have 30 minutes to spare, right? And he actually went to sleep in the exam. When he came out, he told us after 45 minutes he was done, he checked over, he went to sleep. Alright, so Dreshaun, normally in class, I know that you love to help your classmates. He actually calls himself the helpinator. Right? It's a term he has for himself, the helpinator. So tell us, why is it that you feel it is important for you to help your classmates?
So when I help them, I feel like I'm helping them to understand it more. Instead of them not doing anything, I'd show them how to do it step by step so that they could understand it themselves.
Right, which is very important, right? We have to help each other. And I know that for some of the older students whom I teach, like from other schools, those who normally are doing the CSEC in grade 11, grade 10, they look up to Dreshaun and other students his age, right, because of their mastery of it. So it's something that I find very positive to see this young man going around. So when he's finished with his task, he goes around and he helps others. Dreshaun, what is your favorite? Tell me your 3 favorite math topics.
My 3 favorite math topics are graph, algebra, and matrices.
And what would you say is your most challenging math topic?
Trigonometry.
Okay. Now, as I said, today is March 14, and for those who, the entire planet has been experiencing to some extent a lockdown. For some persons, total lockdown, some semi-lockdown. Here in Jamaica, we have been on different stages of lockdown since March 13 last year. So it's actually an entire year that schools have been closed. So for our school, we have been online for the most part. And so, Dreshaun, it has been an entire year since you were coming to normal school face to face. How has the lockdown affected you, you think? How did it affect your preparation for the exam? How do you feel in general about the lockdown?
Well, I think that the lockdown has made school life harder because I'd have to do online class, and the apps that I would use, there would be technical difficulties, more distractions around the house, and it would be harder than regular face-to-face where you would just do the work without distractions normally.
Okay. And for those of you who might be saying, well, this is a gifted child, this is an exceptional case, I would like you to understand this is a totally normal child. He does everything a normal child does. He loves his games, he loves video games, and we have to be stern, just like any parent or teacher has to be stern. We have to keep guiding him. Dreshaun, how did you manage to balance studying with, we know you love your games, so how is it, did you find it that you had to choose, or how is it that you found a balance to still achieve the distinction, and maintain your childhood, especially given the crisis that we're in.
So the 6 days that I do class, I will do school straight. When my school is finished, I don't usually play anything. I'd either be doing homework or eat or go and bathe. So on the weekends now, when I'm free, unlike for example a Sunday, I would play my video games along with sometimes studying, doing online things and studying like 6 and past papers.
Okay, very good. So guys, it's a normal child. If you are a normal child, if you have normal children, they can achieve what Dreshaun has achieved. It just takes commitment to the process, it takes balance, and it takes, you say, the teacher, the parent, and the child. When all persons are on board and the support system is strong, magic can happen, right? Alright, so Dreshaun, I'm going to go on now and speak to your mom. Right, so Roshana, welcome. You are no stranger to us, right? So Dreshaun has been with me since he was knee-high to a grasshopper, right? So Roshana is no stranger to us. We are introducing her to you guys now. So Roshana, how did you find the school?
Well, I found this school, what year would that be? Dreshaun was about, initially, I think Dreshaun was about 3 when I was first introduced somewhat. I think I was watching the CM at Sunrise program, and you were on it with your son Kuti at the time, who achieved 6 CXC subjects while he was in grade 6, homeschooled here. So that's when I first knew about the school, and I was adamant that I must locate this school. When I heard it was in Portmore, I was like, okay, so we need to find it. So I remember it really took me over a year. I was actually trying to find this school with another friend of mine. I just managed to find it first, and I did introduce it to her as well. So I found Kemet Messiah, could have been a year after, because Dreshaun was enrolled in a regular basic school in Portmore at the time. When I reached out to Miss Kama, it was during the summer holiday. So she agreed to take Dreshaun. I think Dreshaun stayed for about 3 weeks, if that much. It wasn't more than 3 weeks. And he came here and he did the summer program. When the summer program ended, at that point I was like, how do I send back this child to a basic school? He was way advanced. He's not doing a 1+1 or 2+2. He was doing graphs, like plotting graphs and all of that. So of course I pleaded and I begged Miss Kama to accept Dreshaun. Of course, she said she normally accepts them at age 5. He wasn't 5 as yet. But I think something spoke to her somewhere down there, and I'm not sure what it was. And she decided that she would have taken him September.
So when she's talking about Miss Kama, this is Miss
That's
Kama.
Miss Kama.
Because
right? So
you're talking as if it's somebody out there.
third person.
So this
Miss
is
Kama right here.
Right.
So I asked her if she was able to take Dreshaun, even though he hasn't gotten to the age of acceptance, which is 5, and she agreed. So, by that time, being the mother that I am, normally where books are concerned, I try to buy those in advance. So, of course, I bought all the books for his previous basic school. So, when I went back to that school, I had to donate them because they wouldn't give me a refund for the uniforms, anything. So, you say, you know what, I'm not turning back. I'm on a mission, so I'm going to go ahead and I donated all of those stuff to the school. And I pressed on. So Dreshaun started here that September. He would have been 5 in November. So he was like 3 months away from his 5th birthday. So that's basically how I knew about the school and how we started.
Okay. When I told you that Dreshaun, that I wanted him to do the City and Guilds mathematics, how did you receive that information?
Well, when you called me, I think you sent me a message. I think it was a text message that you said, you gave the class a City and Guilds paper and Dreshaun, without even being taught all of the topics,
right.
He achieved a 78%. so you think we should go with it. And I can tell anybody, you know, I always refer to Miss Kamal. Like, I remember watching an interview with Usain Bolt, how he speaks about his coach. And for Usain, it was always, whatever the coach says, that's what I'm going with. And that's like me with Miss Kamal. So if Miss Kamal says we're going to do it, all hands down, I'm ready. If she's going to pull back, she said, Dreshaun, I don't think, then that is it. So when I was told, when you told me that you would want Dreshaun to sit the City and Guilds right away, I know once you, I'm sure that you saw him ready, or you were ready to get him prepared for that exam. And as such, I was fully ready to support in whatever way I could.
Okay, I'm sure that there are persons, you know, maybe relatives, persons in your community, once they know about, you know, the fact that you're, in their opinion, pushing this child, you know, maybe they think you're pushing too much. How did you deal with that kind of response? The naysayers, you know, those who have the negative comments, discouragement. How did you deal with that?
Well, you know, I think by now I'm used to it. Dreshaun been here from 4+.
Right.
And I think I had that dealing with from that very same time. I remember the first year that I got a book list. I think I called you after so when I went to the bookshop, the teacher was like, how old is your son is? I said, he's 5. So she's like, but this can't be his book list. I said, this is his book list. And she's like, you know, why would you, you know, and she went on. And I'm saying, well, listen, if you want good, as Jamaicans say, nose of a run. So this is the book list. And at one time, it's almost like she refused to even go through. And I'm saying, this is my 5-year-old, because I think it had the age on the paper. So she was kind of amazed as to say, 5-year-old with these kind of books. You know, so I've been dealing with that from over a time. So really and truly, I have a lot of that. At my workplace, you hear people say, Dreshaun, don't you think that's too much? Why are you pushing him so much and all of that? But I mean, I have proven that it's not a push. You just have to be dedicated. And we're on the same mission, as Ms. Kamal said earlier. It's a 3-way relationship. It's not just the teacher, it's the teacher, the child, and the parents, and the supporting. And I must say, Dreshaun is from a strong support system. We have a very strong support system. I couldn't do it by myself.
Right.
My brother is like, in all my interviews, I'll say that if I am, my work can be very demanding. So most of the time I am dependent on my brother to take him to and from school and stuff. So his support system, mother, father, you know, up to grandmother, we have a very strong support system. And I think that plays a key part in him achieving this distinction.
How would you advise parents who, you know, maybe they see great potential in their child, or even, as I said, it's just a regular child, but they want to push that child? What advice would you give to parents like that?
Well, I must say, if you see, and I always tell people, even my co-workers, I tell them, if you see the potential in the child, don't stop. It's hard, because sometimes as a parent, within yourself, you say, boy, you know, it's a lot on the child. That happens to me a lot. You know, to say it's a lot for them to bear, and you have to take away the games from them and the natural life. But don't stop. It is possible. Dreshaun is not the first child to do it. We have roots from the school who have done it on 3 or 4 occasions actually. So it's no gift. You don't have to be a, you know, no abnormal child. It's just a normal child, as we say. So I would encourage parents not to give up. Once they see the potential, even if you don't see it, still push your child, because it's doable.
Right.
It's doable.
And for those who can, because you see, our students routinely in grade 6, as I said, they do 3 C-Sec subjects, and so we have to start preparing them we get them from grade 1. And even those who they're coming in grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, we still try to prepare them for that. For those who can't physically be here with us, this is the whole point of this channel. This is the reason why I spent all this time creating these videos, so you have the opportunity to benefit from the teachers. So for Dreshaun, for example, he was on the channel, when he wasn't physically with me or on the online class, he was checking out the videos on the channel as part of his preparation. If you can't be here physically with us, go on the channel. We have many playlists. We have a grade 4 playlist, grade 5 playlist, grade 6, all the way up to grade 11 for now, right? If it's algebra you want, you go to the algebra playlist. If it's graph you want, you go to the graph playlist. In addition to that, we have motivational videos, because we understand that it's not just the academics. To get a child to achieve these things that we're asking of them, they have to be motivated beyond the norm. And so we have 69 motivational videos that you and your child can access. Just watch them and be inspired, be motivated. As part of our curriculum, we also do Black Achievers. So our students study those men, women, and children like themselves who have achieved greatness. And all of this comes together. Right? So when we're asking them to do this, they know that it's something that's achievable. Alright, so Mommy, thanks for talking with me. I'm going to ask you now to allow Uncle to come and speak, and we're going to, find out his role. Alright, so we're welcoming Omar Wyndham, the uncle of Dreshaun Napier. We're continuing our talk, and I personally have witnessed Omar bringing Dreshaun to school, whether it's weekday, weekend, whether the class was in the morning, the afternoon, the night. Sometimes he would not only drop him here, he would wait for him, always encouraging him, being that stern but loving force, a very strong male role model in his life. So Omar, how did you feel about Dreshaun's success?
This champion here, about his success, it didn't really come as a surprise, based on his performance throughout the years, starting at the school, right? So I was excited like any other parent, for sure, but at the same time, as I said, I wasn't surprised at all, because I know he will do it, he can do it, and in future to come, he will do it even better.
Right, because he is preparing for
the 6,
right,
right,
this
3
C6 coming
right,
up.
3 C6,
Right, so our school, traditionally, we attract lots of boys.
Right.
For what reason, I don't know, but I think, the boys, they find us out, they seek us out, and we definitely encourage them. In the wider society, we don't see boys doing very well academically, and we don't see lots of strong male role models. Especially, we know the girls need the strong male role models, but the boys especially. And Dreshaun, I would really like you to take the time and just tell Uncle how you feel about the fact that he has been supporting you, and just tell him thanks. Do it for me and for yourself, because I want to hear you say it.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to my uncle, because he carried me to school from either in the morning, in the evening, or at night. He sometimes waits until the class is finished, brings me home, and he does that every day, like it's natural.
Right.
And
just say thank you.
and I want to say
And
Yes,
I love you too, Dre.
Because we don't often say thank you to the persons who support us, and we have to teach our children that as you climb the ladder, as you go through life, don't just take it for granted that yes, my parent, yes, my uncle, yes, my whatever. They're supposed to do that.
Right.
Even if they're supposed to do it, they don't have to do it, and many of them don't do it. So we have to take the time out to say thank you when we have that support
That goes
system.
far away, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
So Omar, when you found out that, well, Dreshaun was enrolled at the school, 5 years old, roughly.
Yeah.
When you found out how demanding our school was, how much we pushed our students, how did you feel about that?
excited. Because for me, it was something different. I mean, I can recall me talking about his bag. Oh, he's just a young age. He's carrying a big, heavy bag to school. The bag we make carry can't manage it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the advance at his age, the way you teach, I mean, that was just something for me. And I can remember even people criticize and say, you know, such a young child doing such advanced work. It's just it was just something new for me, some more explore. And I think, you know, with it depends on how we train our brain, because we tend to just lock back in the old basic stuff. So this was something new, and this is something where, yeah, I was definitely on board at the time when you know.
And you remain on board. So
Which
mommy's
is
on
right,
board,
which is right.
uncle on board, stepdad on board, daddy on board, grandma, everybody.
on
And
board.
let me tell you guys, when we have everybody doing their role, playing their role, as I said, that's when the fireworks happen.
And one thing I want to point out as well, for the parents out there, you know, well, we see it as a challenge, but it's something that it's supposed to be a norm. I mean, in his case, where it's a lot of books, and the books, you know, these books, they might do it in a grade 11, they might do it in a grade 5. We are past his stage. I mean, don't hold back yourself. Don't tell a child I don't believe that they can do it. They can. So just expose them to it. Regardless of how young them is, you might think they're not gaining anything from it, but just expose their ears to it. Just surround them with that.
Because we're not asking them to do anything that is not possible.
Which is right.
Right? Others have done it. Marcus Garvey said, what man has done, man can do. Right? So we expose our students to others like them, children like them, who have achieved excellence, and so they see that what I am asking them to do, they can do it. Alright, so finally, Omar, I'd like to ask you, what would you say to the dads, the stepdads, the uncles, the male figures in the lives of our children? What tips would you give them, or what advice or encouragement would you give to them?
My thing is to just it's all boiled down for me to sacrifice. We have to make the necessary sacrifice. You have something called tough love. We have to show that. Children on the whole, they have a tendency when they talk to them, or you don't allow them to do certain stuff, they tend to just go down and share that little, you know, like a face-to-face sorry for them, and for them have them way. But at the end of the day, like even Dreshaun, what he has achieved, this big task that he has achieved, and achieved it in such a smooth way, that process take sacrifice, as we say. So the children, them themselves need that. They need to feel like a champion, they need to be like a champion, right? So as I say, we have to just make the sacrifice, cut off the games, some of the playing and all of that, and just penetrate on their book, their study.
Right. And don't just leave it up to mom, right?
No,
or grandma.
we all have to participate.
Dads have to pitch in, the uncles have to pitch in, stepdad step up to the role if dad not playing the role, right?
Yeah,
the children need positive role models.
Leave some of the domino game and the Nintendo and all them foolish.
Definitely.
Take off some of the girls.
Find out if the homework is being done, find out if the projects are being done. Read to your children, daddy.
Yes, that is very effective.
Dads and stepdads and uncles, put them in your laps, read to them. This is very important.
And one of the things we don't show much parents, well, dads don't show that love, that
right,
that
the affection,
hug,
right.
that kiss. You
Hug
know,
them,
it
talk
goes
to
a lot,
them,
right.
play with them, and watch some videos from the Kemet
No,
Messiah
definitely,
with them.
definitely.
Right.
And one of the things them people, parents out there, please stop telling the kids that them worthless and them just like them hard.
Right,
And all those
right.
negativity, just dash them away. Tell them say, them are going to become a teacher, doctor, lawyer. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
positivity.
Alright, so very powerful words. I told you you would enjoy listening to this interview. I told you you would not regret staying. So we spoke with Dreshaun, and you know he is a champion here. We have many champions.
The champion.
Yes.
Oh, look at the background, please. I'm sorry, Teach. I'm sorry. Look at the background. The world of champion, and we have more there.
Right. So you see, this is just a little part of our
just a little
curio.
snap. There are more there.
Right,
Man.
because our students, whether it's my biological children, which is where this all started, you know, this is how folks got involved in the school. They found out about the achievements of myself and my children, and so I'm extending that to children who can come to the school physically, and the channel is for you guys who, some of you can't come here physically, but you can camp out, as I love to say. Put up your tent and camp out and watch those videos.
That one is a shot.
Yes, watch those videos. Alright, so thank you for staying with us and, you know, sharing the story, Dreshaun's story. And there will be many more stories. We're also going to do a follow-up, you know, when he gets his CSEC results. We're going to be back to share.
Pending.
Yes, we're going to be back to share that story. So stay tuned, watch this space, look out for those videos,
and
those stories.
remember again, it was done in 45 minutes at 2 of course. So
right.
Just
At 10 years old. And
at 10 years
to
old.
our knowledge, right, this is the youngest that a child has achieved a distinction in the City and Guilds stage 2 mathematics, to our knowledge, and we're very proud of that. Right? So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. You had something else to say?
Yes, man, and people, just I'm telling you a little secret. This when he come out of the classroom, jeez and peace. Him have water, mark, and everything.
He was sleeping.
Knock out, people, knock out.
And I think he was
Totally
helping some other students.
No, he wasn't helping. Actually,
he
as
wanted,
said,
right?
as
He
said,
wanted to.
When he come out, I was telling him, ask him how was the experience and all. And he was talking about a particular young lady that was sitting beside him. Much older than him, because of course he's the youngest. And I said, boy, uncle. And I talked to the one, I said, boy, you know somebody want to help her, but I see she struggle and I sleep and everything, but all me could have done just to sleep. And it was
like
just
I said,
so
he calls
simple.
himself the helpinator, right?
Right, it was just so simple.
In the exam setting, of course, you know, you can't go there and help the way you would normally help in the classroom. So he was just there looking on and saying, this adult, you know, she's struggling with, and he had finished the paper and gone to sleep, right, guys? So this is achievable for all of you.
For everybody.
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 Right? Just if you're watching the video and you're not getting something, drop a comment and I will certainly respond. I want you to master all of these topics. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are, whether you're 99 or you're 9, this channel is here to help you. If you want to support our school, check the link for Patreon below, and you know, you can go there and give us your support. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Share the video so others can benefit. Remember, the more you share it, the more persons can benefit. So look out for our other videos. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
You all can achieve.
All right,
Just
guys.
log on to the link, man. Yes. Okay, that was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again.